cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. It's time again.
What up, y'all? You tuned in to the 52 Scott Podcast. This is Music Monday, and I'm your host, Slash. And with me, I got Comedian 96, K Money, Freddie G. Together, we are the Mind of Men. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast. On Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. All right, welcome back to another Music Monday. Got another great topic for you today, of course. So, Houston, we have a problem. First off, I went to the Screw Day yesterday at the George R. Brown downtown. Enjoyed it. You know, I saw the performances. They had the cars out there. Of course, the culture showed up. It was a lot of people there at George R. Brown. Place was packed. Nice. It was air conditioned. Enjoyed it. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Screwed Up Records and Tapes for inviting me out. I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? We did a couple of little drops for different companies that are actually live on Instagram, different stuff like that. But what I want to talk about, the meat of this situation, I watched a couple of performances. I saw Youngster perform. I saw K Reno. I saw Spice One perform. I saw one of the guys from what's that, Outlaws that Tupac had. He did a performance there. A lot of different artists. You know, I didn't catch everybody, but the people that I did catch, I can say that some of it was good. Some of it was just, you know, something to look at. Wasn't really the greatest. But my actual reason why I wanted to do this show today about that is because the Screwed Up clique as we know it from the 90s, early 90s, you know, 92, 93, stuff like that. So a lot of those people are still around. Of course, we know some of the major SUC members passed away, such as DJ Screw, Fat Pat, Hawk, Big Mo, Pokey. That's the Screwed Up clique, just honestly. You had other members, you know what I'm saying, and we could go on with some of the people who claim SUC that were actually SUC. Youngster was SUC, Kiki was SUC. But what I saw yesterday is the same thing I saw back in the early 90s after Screw passed. And let me just say this. You know how when you watch a movie and they have a gang and you got the leader of the gang, but the leader of the gang get killed. Now all the other gang members is displaced. They don't know what the hell to do or what are they doing, you know, and it's the unity is gone. Yeah. Well, that's what's happening and has been happening in SUC, and I saw that a long time ago, which is why I never backed out of the culture. I backed away from certain artists because I noticed some of the activity around them or some of the attitude that they had, you know, and it's still the same. Yesterday, man, I'll tell you the craziest thing to me. Kiki performed. Zero was there. Actually, when I was setting up, Zero was like right next to us. He had his, I think it was a van or something he had on display for the car show. But whatever the case may be, later on in the day, as the show progressed, Kiki was on stage, and I know that I saw Zero prior to that outside, but it's crazy because these people don't even want to be in the room together. You know what I'm saying? With each other. And I'm trying to figure out what is the problem. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the day when Screw was living, everybody was SUC, SUC, SUC. You're still riding around with the SUC label on, but you're not clicked up. SUC, Screwed Up clique. That means togetherness. Where the hell is that? I saw that gone a long time ago, which is why I backed up from a lot of that. Now, I will tell you, I talked to a couple of these people I talked to Youngster. Now, Youngster was the youngest of the SUC. But right now, I mean, he had a little beef, he was saying towards certain SUC members. But on the cool, really what you got to understand, this man as an individual, he knows what he's doing. He's saying what he should say about what he should see. You got a lot of people that's afraid to say what they want to say as far as these niggas out here acting funny. He ain't scared to say that, because I'm going to tell you, man, the real niggas of SUC dead. The rest of these niggas, bro, I'm talking about funny. And I don't fuck with funny niggas. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I backed up. So if you don't hear me say your name and nothing positive, I'm talking to you. So at the same time, the way you niggas be out here acting, and I don't get it. It ain't about who large or who large. Because on the cool, I done had bigger songs than all you niggas. You know what I'm saying? Then a lot of this shit you niggas did, the songs I did are way much bigger than that shit you did. And I ain't never act like I was no superstar. But you niggas got the wrong idea about who you are and why you here. And I understand that you not cut from the same cloth I'm cut from. Because everything I got that I did was given to me was a blessing. And when you niggas don't recognize your blessings, that's why shit don't last. I've been here 30 years. I'm still active in music. I can fuck with whoever I want to fuck with. But I don't fuck with you because of who you are. It ain't because of what you did or your accolades. I don't give a damn how many records you sold, or how many records you think you gonna sell, or how many streams you got. I don't care about that, because I'm not the one trying to be a superstar. I'm a regular nigga. And if you got you want to talk to me, contact me, let's talk about it. Because I'm just saying, man, we got too old for the same shit that's been going on for 30 years, man. You niggas can't get off the gas. You got a career, you take care of your business, and that's fine. Trust me, I'm not hating on none of you niggas, but some of you niggas is realer than a lot of you other niggas. Another real nigga that I stood up and talked to, Paul Wall. Now, I ain't never did no music with this man, but I can sit there and talk to him and hold a conversation, and he understand, okay, this the nigga that did da-da-da-da, and it's respect. But some of you niggas I actually worked with, done music with, and you niggas act funny. That's why I don't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? I said something a long time ago when I first started doing music. If the Lord say the same, you niggas gonna have to fuck with me, because I'm gonna be in the game one of the coldest to produce the music out here. Now, I do want to mention this. Me and Swift, and I know a lot of y'all might not know Big Swift. You might know Big Swift. But either way, me and him had the booth, man. We in there chopping it up, and now we trying to come up with something that we probably should have did a long time ago, because, I'm not trying to control no artist. I'm not trying to invest in your career or none of that. But what a lot of you niggas don't want to do is invest in yourself. You think somebody's supposed to give you something. That's not how this shit works. You get out here, you hustle, you grind, you do what you supposed to do, and if you ain't got it, you do it out till you can. And see, that's the problem you niggas don't want to go through. You niggas don't want to put the time it take to be self-sufficient on your own. You constantly want a nigga to need you, or you need another nigga. See, that's the difference. I ain't that. I don't need no nigga to do this or do that for me, because guess what? I'ma figure out how to do it. And if I can't, I'm not gonna ask you for the information, because you don't want me to have it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So the H in H-Town really I remember back in the day we were saying, man, the H stand for hater. Hate Town. Yeah, it does. It's still there. You know what I'm saying? And it's a shame that this is the shit we see. And what's crazy is the people that come out to view these performances and the way they look at you as artists, they on the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying? So they thinking it's the culture and everybody togetherness. No, it ain't no togetherness. Shout out to C-Note. He was just released. He just got out of jail. I talked to him yesterday. C-Note always been a real cat. And again, some of the screwed up click people I've never done music with, but I can sit there and chop it up with them because it's on a real, personal basis, to where you could tell who not hating. But some of the niggas you get, I don't hold conversations with niggas. And if I do hold a conversation with you and I peep the fact that you bullshitting, I'm not gonna tell you bullshitting. The only reason I'm not gonna tell you bullshitting, because you already know you bullshitting. The fact is, do you feel like I know you bullshitting? Yes, I do. That's why I'm not saying nothing. So watch what you say when I'm around you and you talking, because I'm peeping the bullshit from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I've seen motherfuckers look at me and go the other way. But you made all that money. But you look at me and go the other way. Nigga, you been doing that shit since 1990 motherfucking 3. When the fuck is that gonna change? Nigga, you probably 50-something years old just like me. I hope you listening. Because see, what I'm saying is the realness in this shit and why there is no unity in H-Town is because the leader is gone. That was his thing, DJ Screw. That was his movement.
So
and
niggas just not to cut y'all, but niggas are just riding the coattail of the name right now. And
hey man, but they ain't got the mind frame he had.
like you said, it's not they not clicked up
They
anymore.
not clicked
and
up.
That is fucked up.
Everybody is trying to outshine each other, but you can't, because DJ Screw is the man. He was the man.
I want to put everybody on.
They put everybody on. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm telling you, I backed up from it, because before Screw passed, he was about to start a record label. So Screw came to me, he said, man, I'm gonna need these beats, da-da-da-da-da. Give me a couple of weeks, we gonna get in here and get some shit together. All right, cool, bam. Well, a couple of weeks came, the man was dead. So at that point, at that immediate point, I knew that this H-Town shit was about to spiral downward really, really fast. And I'm gonna show you how many male rap artists from Houston really own right now. Out of that SUC, who's hot right now? The males. We know who out. Hey, none of them. None of them. Nothing out of SUC is hot right now in Houston, and it haven't been for years. The hottest rapper out of H-Town right now is Megan Thee Stallion, and she does not claim SUC.
She probably wasn't even born.
She was.
She was born 93.
Yeah, she was around.
Oh, okay.
You know, I mean, not rapping.
Yeah, she was a
But I
baby.
mean, she was probably a child listening.
Yeah.
Because her mama used to do music. So I'm sure her mama hipped her on to the culture. She know about DJ Screw and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So, but ain't none of you niggas on out here. What are y'all doing? Y'all too busy competing against each other to understand the movement. If you ball your fists up, take one hand and open that motherfucker wide. Spread your fingers. Take the other one, close that motherfucker tight. Now, with the fist that you made, pull on one of your fingers. Tell me if that motherfucker move or not. But on the hand that's open, pull on one of them motherfuckers and tell me what happened. You're stronger together than you are separated. So why you niggas separating yourself from each other, I don't understand. You niggas is, and this is another thing that's crazy. Shout out to Papa Roo. I spent a little time with him yesterday, but he showed me something. He pointed something out. And I say, man, you know what, you showed right. And this is what you niggas is not doing. Y'all don't understand the entertainment industry. Because I'm going to tell you something. If I got a show, whether or not I made my show tape, or if I did make my show tape, and I got a song with a nigga that I didn't know he was going to show up, but I see that nigga, guess what? We finna do the song me and you had. Why? Lil Kiki and Zero ain't on the stage together. I mean, Kiki brought up Paul Wall and maybe a couple of other people. But again, Paul Wall hardly never really claimed SUC. If y'all know, Paul Wall was Paul Wall. It wasn't Paul Wall of the SUC. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So why you wouldn't pull up you SUC, you claim SUC, why ain't no other SUC nigga? You got Mike D with you. But it's other people out there. You know, and I understand what Youngster issue was with him, with Kiki, about the June 27th thing. I totally understand that. And he's speaking out as he should. Because here's the thing. June 27th was a song that Youngster made hot. His verse was hot. Another guy, a couple other people was on there, but Kiki wasn't on there. Here's the deal. If you get invited to do the performance for June 27th and you SUC, you claim that. Why you ain't reach out to the other SUC members that was on June 27th?
The original track.
The original.
Yeah.
And had them get on there.
I feel that.
See, you niggas don't understand the entertainment industry. You niggas want it all to yourself and it shows, but then you get on somebody else's spot and you say some other shit and you have an excuse why you don't fuck with nobody. See, niggas, I peep that kind of shit. That's why I don't fuck with you niggas. And that's why I ain't fuck with you niggas in over 20 years. So, when I'm seeing the stuff that I'm seeing from supposedly being click tight shit, you niggas ain't clicked up. All you niggas done separated, and then what y'all did was try to form your own clique outside of SUC. But they can't claim SUC. But if you claim an SUC, you need to fuck with everybody that say they SUC. Cause now SUC damn near ain't the screwed up clique. Because SUC suck. SUC suck, I'm just telling you. Because what I see, you niggas is not unified. And the niggas that was around dick riding back then, because the real niggas is dead, the niggas that was dick riding is the niggas that's kind of in control of some of this shit. You know? And that's where the problem is too, because you niggas' attitudes wasn't bosses back then. So how can you be a boss now? Your attitude, you were not even set up to be a boss. Because what a boss does is make sure everybody eat in his organization. And ain't none of you niggas eating together. The fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying this some real shit, because I've always, for 30 something years, I've always been humble. I've always kept my peace with you niggas. You know, I took my L's and stopped fucking with you. But the same shit that I'm seeing, I'm saying now. But I've been saw a lot of this shit. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason I'm speaking out now is because the main nigga that had the whole, that was my partner. And I know the man put me, if he went on the Cool Screw, put me on. When he was doing his great tapes, I would do the beats, remake the beats, bam, send them to Screw, them niggas would rap on them, which is how Tops Drop came about. Now that was in the early 90s. None of this shit you niggas did since the 90s up till now, 2000, been a bigger song than that. And the label owners never had bigger songs, but they see you, they run the other way. Okay, nigga. It's all good. I took my L's, nigga. But what I know is I never fuck with you niggas again on nothing. Because y'all niggas ain't entertainment. Y'all ain't entertaining right. You're an entertainer, you got your thing going, but you're not entertaining right, man. It's fucked up out here for H-Town. You know what I'm saying? And when I see the crowd come out and you on stage telling people to throw your H's in the air, yeah, they doing that, but they don't know what's going on the inside of this shit. You really trying to unify with the crowd rather than unify with your clique that you niggas supposed. But like I say, the real niggas from SUC, all of them died.
So, I know that you mentioned the artists at the beginning of the show. And now you just mentioned the real niggas from SUC have died. Just one more time, can you give a list of those individuals?
Fat Pat, DJ Screw, Hawk, Pokey, Big Mo.
Okay. Now, it sounds to me that the event was geared to be a positive event, but it seemed like it was nothing but a bunch of negativity there.
No, I'm not saying that it was negativity. I'm just looking at it from my standpoint, because I don't know how them niggas feel until they come say something to me. But I'm putting it out here for you to come talk to me if you got a problem with what I'm saying. Let's talk about it. So I'm not saying that the show was negative. I'm just saying from my viewpoint, from being in the entertainment industry, the way you niggas is doing entertainment is completely opposite of what it, because I'm just looking at, and these niggas ain't really big names. Don't get me wrong.
So let me ask you, and so first of all, let me say this. This is I've been knowing you for years, / this is the first time I've actually ever heard you really truthfully be passionate about your feelings on certain things, because usually you do kind of just keep your mouth shut and just kind of move certain way or what. Okay, And so that leads me to this question. I want you to, if you can, rewind back to the day of the event. You were putting on your clothes at your house. You walked out to your ride. I know it was clean because you always keep it
That
clean.
motherfucker, man.
and it rained. Yeah, but I want you to put me back in your mind where you was putting on your clothes. You walked out to your ride, to get in your ride, to head to an event. Were you anticipating any kind of situation from any individuals that was a part of the event that would give you negative vibes? Were you anticipating that?
No.
Or were you just kind of like open to like, you know what? I'm ready to go have a good time.
That was my outlook. I was proud to be invited. It was an honor to be invited to this. You know, when you've been off the scene with that culture for over 20 years, it's an honor to be invited. And again, shout out to Swift, Big Swift, and the Screwed Up Records and Tapes. So it was an honor, and I had my mind frame was on, okay, I'm gonna see some of these artists, I'm gonna chop it up with them because I know the people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's actually like a feeling like, okay, we know, I'm knowing the situation ain't the same, but at least if I can stand up and talk to you niggas, maybe I get a different feel for who you are as a person, and maybe I can understand why we never got to do no work together.
So in other words, it's been so many years, maybe there's some growth within the individual.
Right. Let's see where the growth is.
Let's see if there's any growth.
Exactly.
Well, so you were open. You're
right.
Open to good conversation, growth,
suggestions, and everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So to me, it sounds like I use this for example, like a 20-year high school reunion.
Exactly.
And the guys back then when you were in high school act funny, but you like, okay, well maybe
they
change and grow
maybe.
up. But they got worse or act the same.
You try to give it a shot and give a benefit of the doubt of who people are that you've experienced before. But when there is no positive outcome, there has been no growth in that person.
Yeah.
You know, because to be honest with you, like I said, I took some L's, but I ain't beefing with nobody. Mm-hmm. And I know how to get at you. Even though I took an L. Mm-hmm. I ain't beefing with you. I ain't coming knocking your door down and doing all this extra stuff. Because I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt to be an adult and come at me in an adult form like, hey man, I know what we did back in the past. I might not have took care of my business how I supposed to, man, but guess what, man? Let's see if we can get this right. You know, I give you the benefit of the doubt. No matter what your downfall was or what your reason for what you felt, however you felt about me, whatever that was, I still give you the benefit of the doubt to make something right. But when you're not that person, you haven't grown as an adult, and there's nothing you can make me say to respect the fact that you're a better person, because you're not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if that's like me doing something, and I can't even say what I would do because I don't fuck nobody over.
Now, there are some that, without naming names, because I know that there are some names in the Screwed Up clique that you did not mention and we're not going to mention, right? But would you say that, you know what, I'm going to mention one name. You don't have to mention. I'm going to mention one name. Mm-hmm. Not the name that you may be thinking, but there's so many Screwed Up clique members that I can think of, and the names that you mentioned, who you consider were the real ones, it sounds like those were like the core guys,
right? And
then there were a bunch of like offsprings, right? Years later, right? Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you, where does Lil Flip fit in your opinion? Because I've heard Little Flip in interviews where he's actually said that Screw has named him the Freestyle King. I've seen where ESG, kind of like, no, that's my title,
Right.
for lack of better words.
The beef in that situation.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it any beef, but it's just a competitive competition.
Right.
Rapping competition.
Right.
I don't think there's any beef there.
Right.
So help me to understand, like, because I know that you were more active in the around the movement around that time.
Right.
Help me to understand in your opinion, where does Lil Flip, Zero, and ESG fit in the Screwed Up Clique? Would they be considered a part of that wave of generation, or the ones after them? That first little group, or the ones after them?
That's the second wave, SUC. Flip.
Okay.
Well, ESG was kind of.
In between?
ESG was there when the Fat Pats, he was there.
Uh-huh.
So I would consider ESG an elder,
Okay.
and Flip and Zero to be second generation.
Okay.
Now I did see Flip performance yesterday. I did see ESG performance yesterday, and I did see a Zero performance yesterday.
Okay.
Out of all three of those, just my honest opinion, the growth in the person that I believe had more growth from visualizing his stage performance was Lil Flip. And reason why I say that is because he's mature. He's not on stage trying to disassemble anybody. Wisecracks on people. I've seen people have somebody on stage and kind of wisecrack on the person on stage, and then you wisecracking on the people in the audience. But this audience came to see you. Why would you do that? Don't make sense to me. But I seen ESG come up there. ESG did his performance, and I'll hat off to ESG. He endured a lot of stuff, in the past, and to still have the mind frame to get on stage in a wheelchair and perform.
That's their passion.
That's passion. So my hat off to him for that, because myself, I don't know if I would be able to do that. I would think my career's over if I can't get up and walk across stage and do my show and perform. Because how do you perform in a wheelchair? You know what I mean? I mean perform, not just walk across the stage and rap. But performance is performance. You have to entertain, and I'm not saying you got to be rapping and get up there and dance and shit. No, I'm just saying how you interact with the crowd, moving on from one. You have to have. It's called controlling the stage. There's people on every edge of the stage, and you have to perform to all these people. So if your stage is a 15-foot stage, you need to control all 15 feet of that stage and communicate with all the audience members on each side of that stage. So how do you do that in a wheelchair? You know what I'm saying? And you got a microphone, especially if nobody's pushing you in the wheelchair, and you got the mic in your hand. How do you understand what I'm saying? So hat out to ESG, because I don't think I'd be able to do that, man. That'll take a lot out of me. So hats off to him. I saw Ronnie Spencer, and shout out to Ronnie Spencer. He's also, I'm guess, having some health issues. He's in a wheelchair,
Now, for the audience, just real quick, you don't have to stay on it too long. Who's Ronnie Spencer?
Ronnie Spencer is the guy that featured on a lot of SUC records that sounds like Ronald Isley. Sounds just like Ronald Isley. You wouldn't know the difference unless they were standing right next to each other.
And without saying this big name group, he featured on some of their songs, or at least one of their songs.
Yeah, he featured on a lot of the SUC member songs. I've done songs with him, and he did the hook song, and these wasn't SUC members of the people that I've worked with songs with him on. But I think Ronnie Spencer's a good artist. He created a sound that helped. But one person I didn't mention from the Screwed Up Clique that passed, Mr. 3-2. He was another one, man. And I tell you, the guys that I named that passed from SUC, from me knowing them back from those days, man, them dudes was real. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they could sit up and hold a conversation. It wasn't about being no superstar. Fat Pat never had a superstar attitude. Hawk never had a superstar attitude. 3-2 never had a superstar attitude, although 3-2 was fly as hell. That's just who he was as a character. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Mo, Pokey ain't never had no superstar attitude. Mo never had a superstar attitude. As a matter of fact, we all came from Yates together, so a lot of here. Let me just say this: the heavy hitters that I went to school with, that was part of the SUC, was real for the simple fact the school that they went to, the people that you was around.
And for the audience who are not from Houston, mention that school full name, please.
So that school is Jack Yates High School. You know, I went there. We all on this panel went there. A lot of these guys that I named, we went there. We from the same era. So, you know, it's what we saw and where we were from and where we were at that gave us the mentality where we, you know, where we are real, because it was real shit happening. You didn't have no money. People were struggling, you know what I'm saying? But it was still life going on, and people still understood, hey, man, it's a respect game out here. You know, if you got something funny to say to me, just don't say nothing at all. That wasn't going on at Yates.
And I got one other question. I know you're getting close to the close or whatever, but I got one other question for you. The SUC members, and again, I do notice that there's one member whose name hasn't been mentioned, but I want you to keep that member name in mind when I'm asking you this question, along with the other members. So, if you had to pick one SUC member that made it out, that became a known figure outside of Texas,
nationwide,
who would that be?
Lil Flip.
Okay, I agree.
Off the muscle.
So,
Because what I get from Lil Flip, and me as a producer, you have to understand what I look at when I'm looking at entertainment. I can understand that Houston has its own sound, which I'm one of the forefathers of creating that sound. But I'm not holding myself in a box to do just that. And I think a lot of the SUC members got caught up in that box where they couldn't get out of that box, and they're still in that box. And it's like they never recreated themselves to be national artists. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, you have to know what the people like, because of course we have our own everything down here. You know, we got our own slang, you know, the way we ride cars out here is different.
Dances.
You know, our culture in Houston is a Houston culture, and it picks up in closer cities. But New York ain't riding swingers. Cali, you might have a couple of niggas riding swingers out there, but they dating. But what I'm trying to say is the music goes with that culture. So if the culture is not expanding to these different cities and states to where you getting, you know, tens of millions of views or tens of millions of followers, then you're in a box. And I'm not going to produce music to keep me in a box. But a lot of these SUC members created music that keeps them in a box. I mean, even if you, I mean, being a rapper, period, when you put SUC in front of your name, you just put yourself in that box, because now you have to follow that trend. So you forget about the other cities, the other states, the other countries of people that listen to hip hop music. You forgot all about them because you're trying to keep it with the people who ride and swingers because you want to be this hood G or whatever you feel like.
Now, I said I had, that was my final question earlier, but now you just kind of opened it up. And
yeah, I agree, not to cut you off, Reggie, but I too have a question.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
So check this out, man. You said when you put SUC in front of your name.
Right.
Now, this may sound like a dumb question, but follow me here. When you think of the SUC sound, do you think people are thinking of the slow, like chopped and screwed, or as the sound, or is it a certain type of rap style? And if it's a certain type of rap style, somebody from that clique may have had to create that, and then people started to copy it.
So to answer that question, SUC is both the slow and the sound of what people rap about, the style, the rap style, and the slow music,
The cadence.
and all of that. But let me tell you something. SUC rappers aren't Screw. Screw is the one that got the different people that know him from different cities. They love DJ Screw because DJ Screw was it. But because he died, he couldn't put everybody up there where he was. His thing took off when he died. But that was the slow chop music. It wasn't the artist per se. So the artist started using SUC because Screw created SUC. But in order for me to be a part of the million people that know Screw, I need to say I'm SUC. You feel what I'm saying? But you forgot about who are you really.
So it sounds as if, based upon your answer, and I'll tell you why it sounds like this to me, but it sounds as if the sound
It's the
is
sound out of
actually Screw, not the rap style or cadence, and here's why. Screw sound, I can recall Screw taking Michael Jackson's PYT, Pretty Young Thing,
Slow it down.
and slowed it down, and other R&B songs and slowed them down. Which is, so the answer to my question is, it's actually the sound.
It's the sound.
Not the rap style.
Not the artist. Let me say that. It's the sound that the country picked up on.
Yeah.
The city, Houston, picked up on the cadence and the rap style from that sound.
Yeah. But it's the sound that's actually, I got you.
Yeah. And see, DJ Screw's name will always be larger than the artists that come up under the SUC.
And the reason why I asked that question, I know you got a question came on it, but the reason why I asked that question is because, believe it or not, there are people out here that think the rap cadence
Is SUC.
is SUC.
No, it's...
And everybody, even little kids, they start out their rap that way. I'm doing
They rap
this
like
and
that.
I'm that.
They rap just
that
like
cadence, and thinking that's the Screw sound. But the actual sound
Now,
is the slowed music.
Why do you think that everybody picks up on that cadence and do it?
Well, the short, quick answer, but this is not to diminish, and I really mean this when I say this. This is not to diminish as if it's not a good rap or good, clever way of rapping. I like it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like it, but I think it's probably they pick up on it because it seems as if it's elementary. It seems as if
it's easy to do.
It's easy to do.
It was, and what created that sound was when Screw would make these tapes and these dudes rapping on it, the music would be regular speed, and after they rapped on it, then he'd slow it down. So it sounded good no matter what you said.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what they got. That's the culture. They want to stick to what's easy. And if it's easy for me to rap to a slower beat and follow that cadence because I know that cadence because that's all I was hearing, then I'm going to do that. But when we mention Flip doesn't have that cadence. He don't have that cadence. And it's a couple of others that don't have that cadence that really got skill from, like Botany, You know, some of the botany members got skills. You know, I'm not taking nothing away from SUC. I'm just saying we need to understand what SUC is and who SUC is. And if you are SUC, why are you still on the same trend? You've never recreated yourself as a broader audience to the world. It's just you stuck in a box. You know, I'm never gonna stick myself in a box like that because I'm gonna produce music. Period. If somebody come to me and say, Slash, man, I need a pop track, guess what Slash finna do? A motherfucking pop track, nigga. If goddamn Miley Cyrus, I need a country, whatever the fuck she sing, guess what Slash finna do? The motherfucking song type that she asked me. If SUC come to me and say, Slash, man, I need one of them old school, you know what I'm finna give them? That old sound. I'm not in a box. You know, and I believe that's why a lot of the rap niggas don't understand me as a producer. Cause we ain't on the same wavelength when it comes to music, off the muscle. But K Money, I know you had a question, man. I'm gonna let you get that in because I was just talking like
and it's actually in regards to the comments you made in regards to them being in a box. And do you think that reason possibly could be because when Screw passed away, and rest in peace, Screw, social media hadn't blown up like it has
right
now. So do you think possibly these people are trying to, now that social media has blown up, more or less, they're trying to pick back up on that wave that once took off and was hot once upon a time, and take advantage of social media and get it out there past the Texas coast, you know, where, you know, people are listening to Screw, you know, East Coast and West Coast now, but they're not listening to it like they once did once upon a time. But these members that are riding that wave or riding that coattail were not known back then when Screw was hot, you know, in the day. So you think possibly they're trying to utilize social media to take advantage of that, like you say, quicker
the fan
approach.
base and
Of
course they are trying to, and I mean, I don't have nothing against that. You know, if that's your means and ways of doing that, that's fine.
And I get what you're saying. You're limiting yourself.
But you're limiting yourself.
Yeah, I get.
You know what I'm saying? If you're using SUC to come up, you know, then you still putting yourself in a box. You're putting yourself in the SUC box. Because what about the millions of people that don't listen to SUC? You know, it's a lot of artists out here, and they got millions of fans. And millions of these fans, the SUC don't have. So you putting yourself in a box when you're not thinking abroad. You know what I mean? You just, this is what I'm going to do. I can do this. I'm going to stick with this. And that's fine. Don't give, please, what I don't want y'all to think is that I'm hating. I'm expressing the way I feel about the culture because I'm part of the reason why the culture is where it's at. And I didn't go that direction. My mind frame was, okay, how can you be a part of the music industry, period, not just SUC? Whether or not I claim SUC or not. How can I make myself a figure in the music industry that people gonna want to deal with attitude-wise, talent-wise? You know what I'm saying? It ain't about how much money you got. It ain't about being a superstar. But a lot of these cats, man, let me tell you something. I saw people backstage that I'm like, what the hell are y'all back here for? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I didn't even go back there. I didn't want to be a part of, you know, if I know you and I see you when you come for, I'm going to holler at you, period. Hey, man, I'm over here, fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period. But I'm not going to be the one backstage with all the other people that's trying to get on. I don't need that set to get on. You know what I mean? So I mean, if that's what y'all do, hey, that's cool. You know what I mean? Continue doing what you're doing. But just remember, if you gonna fuck with me, if you want to fuck with me, you're gonna have to be on a different level as far as entertainment wise. You know, don't just cater to one set of people or one group of people or one classification of music. You know what I'm saying? Cater to a lot of different styles. You know, SUC did what it did. It got as big as it is, and I'm not saying that it's not gonna keep growing. I'm sure it'll keep growing with the right artists to represent it. You know, because when you are a SUC member that was there since day one and you dropping albums and you ain't going platinum, but Screw got millions of listeners, millions of viewers and all of this up till now, you know, and if you're a SUC member original and you're not going platinum, you doing the wrong thing. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Market yourself to be an artist and entertainer for the world, not just a city or a certain amount of people. But if you got anything, you heard what I said, you got something you want to talk about, contact me. Let's talk about it. Let's get it together, man, because guess what? I'm not hating on nobody. I'm expressing the way I feel because I've been there and I've done that, and that's not where I'm at now. My thing now is, okay, how can I get to where the music that we doing is on a major level nationally? I've had, bro, let me tell you something. I've been on songs that's been national, and I don't act like some of you niggas. And y'all know what song I'm talking about. Holla back. So that's all, y'all, for this edition of Music Monday. Thanks for tuning in. Come back tomorrow and check out True Tuesday with K Money. Hit that like button, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, D52 Scott Podcast. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast.